Are you ready to be on a podcast that's not your own?
I know. I've done a few in the last month and I really like it. It's therapeutic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a completely different vibe when you're talking on someone else's that's not your own.
I know, because I feel like I talk more about myself on somebody else's, where on mine, I'm talking more about other things to entertain my audience, because they're like, all right, Sam, we've heard enough of you. Talk about something different, but I'm excited.
I know. Whenever I do solo episodes, I think to myself, oh, I already made that joke, or I already talked about this, or whatever. Sometimes I love doing the solos, but it's a lot more fun to just be on someone else's.
Yeah, I've never done a solo. I'll have to do that at some point.
Oh my gosh.
Podcast. Yeah, it's always been Taylor and I.
Okay, there you go. Well, you guys should split it up. Maybe do it for the holidays. But
I think we are.
You guys, today I have Sam on my podcast. Everyone say hello, Sam.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be on.
Welcome back to Fun on Weekdays podcast. It's me, Jenna, your host, and Sam today. And Sam is one of my friends here in Austin, but she comes from a pretty different world of social media.
Yes, very
She
different.
is a fitness influencer.
Yep.
Do we call that a fitfluencer?
Yeah, I guess you would call it that. You know what? It's actually funny because I, for the longest time, have not really liked the word influencer. What are your thoughts on that word?
I do think it's kind of, I think it has a negative connotation.
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, you know what? I love what I do. I love that my niche, so-called, has been fitness, because it is a massive part of my life. But within the last year and a half, I'm so happy that I've been able to change it into adding wellness, food, recipes. I'm a huge foodie, so if you go to my page, I have so many recipes and so many foods and full days of eating and stuff like that. But it's just everything now, and I love it.
Yeah, I kind of switched over from just fitness, and we talked about that a little bit. Sam and I got coffee before we started this. And we were just chit-chatting, catching up on things, because I feel like doing fitness as social media, your content, all the time, can be super draining and
100%.
just so just kind of take over your life, take out the enjoyment of actual fitness.
Yeah, that's exactly what you just said. It's kind of how it felt. With anything, if you have something that you're super passionate about and you do it a little bit too much and you kind of dive way too far into it and it just consumes your life, you get burnt out from it so quickly. And me and Taylor actually did a podcast episode about this 2 weeks ago, and our audience really loved it because we were just talking about how you need to have things outside of your passion, other hobbies. Your one passion can't be the only hobby you have, because you're gonna get so burnt out from it. So I love playing ice hockey, field hockey. I'm huge in graphic design. My degree was graphic design. So even when I'm not really doing anything, I'll just hop on my computer and just do art and stuff. But I just think in terms of fitness, in which this podcast episode will probably get really into that. I feel like fitness is every aspect of your life, mentally and physically. If you're not doing, if you're not balancing out everything, you're not going to have a good workout relationship, if that makes any sense. So I definitely think it is important that with fitness, you have other things in it, because you'll get burnt out really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to get into it today. So I figured we could talk about fitness and your relationship to it, especially going into the holidays. I think there's a lot of pressure for maybe when you're going home and you're seeing friends from high school or family or whatever, and then going into the new year, everyone just has this mindset that you have to be in your absolute best shape ever. So I want to talk about that.
Yes.
But before we get into it, I'd love for you to introduce yourself and some background to who you are.
Yeah, I think what my background is will really relate to a lot of people listening, because right now I'm in a very good relationship with my body, my food, and everything. But I came from a place where I was struggling bad. I had a very unhealthy relationship with food, but this kind of all stemmed from when I was in college. I played field hockey and lacrosse in college, and I was a two-sport athlete, and the over-exercise, under-education on nutrition played a big role on that. So I came from a really bad background of restrictive eating, which then ended up cycling into binge eating, and it was just a constant cycle for a few years. And when I actually was playing field hockey and lacrosse, I was so fixated on cardio and just burning as many calories as possible. My Apple Watch, the phone with MyFitnessPal, and then my body weight on the scale, those numbers determined my happiness day to day so much that it just kind of I woke up one day and I was I can't allow this to be my life for the rest of my life, being so focused on numbers and cardio and just moving my body, because it was so taxing. My relationship with friends, my ex-boyfriend, my parents, it took a toll. So once I started to get really into bettering myself, I learned so much. And I graduated in 2016. When did you graduate?
2016.
2016.
Oh, high school?
Or no, I'm sorry, college. Oh my goodness. No, college. Just, I graduated 16, but college was 2020. So
Okay.
were you 2022?
Yeah. Where'd you go to college?
LaSalle University in Boston. It's a really small school.
Okay.
I played D3 sports, and like I didn't have really like a social life outside of it, like because my school was so small. But yeah, so I decided like my junior year, that's when I decided to go abroad, and I quit one of my sports. So I ended up only being a one sport athlete, and it came to the point where I was like, oh my goodness, I can't play sports anymore. Like, how am I going to remain active? So that's when I started to learn a lot about fitness and all of that. And I got so passionate about it. And while also learning, I was like also healing my relationship with food in the gym. And just over the last, like 3-4 years that we've been out of college.
It's weird to say.
It is weird to say. I have now gone in a place where like none of that really affects me. So talking about like the whole like holiday thing, it's like it has a special place in my heart, because that was like one of the hardest things for me was coming home, having to deal with family and friends making comments, all the holiday food, like all of that. So I am excited to dive into that.
Yeah, exactly too. One of your things that you said about like your Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So I had an Apple Watch. I got it, I think last year for Christmas, and or maybe even the year before that. I used to look at it all the time when I first moved to Austin. I was working out so much. And like you said, in college too, and even now I feel like I'm just beginning to educate myself, but I'm still trying to find that balance. And one of the only things that's helped me was getting rid of the Apple Watch.
Yep.
So I didn't fixate on that number. And also, literally, I donated our scale. I could not look at our freaking scale ever again, because it was just making me so mad. And it's like, it didn't matter how good I felt or how strong I felt. I would stand on the scale and I would just be so mad because it felt like I had no progress if I didn't see the number change at all. So what are some of the ways that you were able to kind of shift that mindset and change from like that relationship relying on those numbers to then just relying on your body?
No, that's first thing is can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Okay, I swear a lot. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Literally, the name of my podcast is the F word. Because it's fitness and fuck, because I swear a lot.
I love it.
Anyways, one thing was getting rid of the scale, getting rid of the apps in your phone, the Apple Watch, whatever it is, and just get rid of those numbers. And another thing is like, if you're someone that's already super like addicted to working out in like a bad way where it's not really treating your body right, taking more rest days and not being so active. Like, you need to teach yourself that like, you can be okay with not going to the gym that day or not completing that extra like thing of cardio or whatever it was. For me personally, when I saw like the body weight scale go up or down, like I punished myself. So I would go on the stairs for like an extra like 30 minutes and like look at the calories burned on my watch. So one thing is obviously getting rid of those things. And then once you get rid of those things, you can then start to do the active parts by maybe it's different for everyone. So some people it's like they over exercise. Some people, maybe it's food. They, treat food as like their coping mechanism based on like the number on the scale, and like they'll restrict. And then if they restrict, then they end up binging when they are either alone or they're emotional, they're dealing with like anxiety, depression, whatever it is. So going into those like pieces and being more active with it and kind of like understanding will help so much. For me, I kind of went through all of them. I was in a very restrictive mindset. I would eat only like around like 1,000 calories, 12,000 calories, which is not enough for someone our age with how active I was. So for me, it was teaching myself to eat more food and like educating myself on like what a proper dish was. And I started to learn what protein was, carbohydrates, fats. And I know some of your audience maybe listening probably doesn't really know what that stuff is, just because, this isn't like a fitness podcast and you're not like really talking about those things. But protein and carbs and fats are macronutrients. So those are what makes up a like healthy dish in front of you. And you need to make sure you're consuming those things. And protein specifically is the most important macronutrient in my mind. So when I first started getting into tracking my food, I made it very important that when I was creating food dishes, whether snacks or anything, it was very high in protein. And I wouldn't track these things because like I said, I had to get rid of the apps. I had to get rid of like anything that involved numbers, but I just knew, okay, I'm going to make a dish right now. This has to have some protein in it. So maybe chicken. If I'm having breakfast, maybe some eggs or protein powder. I love doing protein oats. That's like my favorite breakfast. And just really focusing on the food aspect and really fueling my body, because the more I started to fuel my body, the more I started to realize like other benefits with it. Like I had more energy. I wasn't relying off of caffeine. I had more endurance in the gym and just like all of these things. And it just goes, it's in a circle. It's really crazy. Once you start to experience those things and the benefits that come along with it, then you kind of get addicted to it.
I think more recently I've been trying to eat healthier. Just as you said with protein aspect of it, I think in my mind, I just always believed that if I eat too much protein or like too many protein shakes, which I love, that it would make me bulky and that it would make me like gain weight, or I wouldn't be as quote unquote toned. Do you think that that's kind of like a misconception?
Huge misconception. I right now don't track my food, but when I was tracking my food, I was making it, I was trying very hard to hit at least 1 gram of protein per body weight. And I know for some people this can vary because, you know, so basically
you're like, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to get it.
There's so much. But basically if you were to track 1 gram of protein per your body weight and you made up all of that food, the amount of food you're probably consuming in terms of protein is probably so low compared to what you need to be consuming if you're not tracking. And when you track food, it helps you so much realize like the portions and like the sizes of your meals and how much you actually need to be eating day to day. So I can solely thank like tracking my food for being the reason that I can just kind of like go day to day, like knowing what to eat, like the type of bowl I can make for food, my breakfast and whatnot. But yeah, protein does not make you bulky. Carbs don't make you fat. Fats don't make you fat. It's all about like the consumption of the food, which we could totally get into if you wanted to. But basically, if you are just like maintaining, you want to be eating the amount of proper food that your body is exerting day to day. So food does not make you bulky, ladies. Don't be scared of it.
Perfect. We love to hear that, especially going into the holiday. Like I remember actually going home last year, I was trying to be gluten and dairy free. And I had been doing it for a couple months, but, you know, I'd have like hiccups here and there because it's not always easy when you're somewhere that doesn't have a lot of options. So when I was going home for the holidays, I was like doing really well with it. And I remember feeling like so guilty because I had been eating things that weren't, you know, gluten or dairy free. And in my mind, it was like, oh, I'm going to see this change or whatever, which isn't necessarily the case. But I think getting so fixated on that is definitely not a healthy relationship to have. So if people want to learn more about like nutrition and stuff and how to have a balanced diet, do you have any resources of places that you learned that from?
Yeah, so honestly, I got my CPT, which I know obviously not a lot of people like. If you're really into like learning about that type of stuff and you want to get like your certificate and like become a trainer or whatnot, great resource to learn these types of things. But there's a lot of great podcasts out there. Like obviously mine, we don't go into like the sciences of that stuff just because one, I'm not like certified enough to talk about the sciences behind all that stuff. But podcasts are great if you want to just listen to those. Of course mine, but I wouldn't say like the sciences. If you want to learn the basics, we kind of dumb down things when we talk about stuff.
That's like, what I like
on our podcast. No, seriously, because it's like fitness and nutrition is so simple, and I just feel like a lot of the times people overcomplicate it and try to make it scarier and like keep it interesting when it's just so simple. Like learning these things and adapting it to your lifestyle is very simple, but a lot of times people will overcomplicate it. But influencers, like fitness influencers, are great tools to have. Like when I got into it, I followed a lot of like, I don't know if you're familiar with like Whitney Simmons, the KK Fit Twins, any of these like content creators, they're massive. So I followed a lot of those types of people and then like listened to like podcasts and learned through that. And then of course my CPT, but.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, what you said that fitness is very simple. I feel like for someone that's not super into fitness or like you're just starting to get into it, I feel like it can be super overwhelming because there's almost like an influx of too many resources, and it's kind of like, who do I listen to, you know? And then there's videos all over TikTok of different fads of different types of exercises that like we'll try, and then, you know, and then it's like on to the next one. And it's kind of like, I don't know exactly what the true definitive like best resource is because I think it is always changing, you know?
Oh yeah. I was actually saying this today to my roommate. I was looking on my like For You page, and this mom, the reason I knew she was a mom because I went to her profile.
Oh wait, I might follow her.
I don't know. We'll see. So she was posting a workout or transformation. It was a drastic transformation. Like,
was it like 150 pounds?
No.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll have to look at our phones later and see if it's the
so
same person.
She posted her transformation and then was really marketing it for her workout guides. And her workout guides were dumbbell only and resistance band only guides. And it's quote unquote the way she transformed her body, which I hate to break it to people, but like if you want to drastically change your body and gain a good amount of muscle, you're not gonna be able to do it from a 6-week dumbbell and resistance band workout guide. Like it's gonna have to be in the gym. Like it's gonna be from your food. So that's another thing is like people will so easily manipulate vulnerable people because fitness and wellness is very like vulnerable. People are like being
very personal.
Yeah, very personal. So a lot of time like big content creators will like take advantage of that and sell guides based on their transformation, but that guide is not how they actually were able to transform quote unquote their body. So that type of stuff really, really bothers me. But yeah, there's just so much out there. One thing I will definitely say for anyone, no matter like what your goals or anything are, is just like have fun with it. Don't get so caught up in like the mental game of it because it can be really hard. The mental game of like you end up getting like not the best relationship with your food, not the best relationship with working out. Like it should be fun when you go to the gym. Like you want that to be like your let loose like environment.
Yeah, we were talking about this right before recording this, and I was saying how when I go to the gym alone, and let's say there's like cardio machines in front of me or weights, I just don't know what to do. So it's really not that enjoyable for me. And I'm the type of person, I love going to a class. Like I love the sense of community. I love being around other people who like we might not all be doing it in like the correct form, but there's people around you so you don't feel like silly for not knowing all the time, or like somebody that's there guiding you. And I've really, really fallen in love with taking like classes, whether it's cycling, Pilates, bar. I do a lot of like yoga sculpt classes now too. Yeah. And I think that's a really good way for people to kind of get into fitness and like is by going to those types of classes because they give everything to you.
Yes, I agree. Classes, or one thing that Planet Fitness gets a really bad rep in the fitness industry, and I don't know why, but like signing up for a commercial gym, like where you have like all the machines that are like, it's just machines. You just have to hop into the machine and just use it to lift the weights rather than doing like free weights. Like anything like that, classes, like machines that you just sit into, or going and just walking on the treadmill. Like if you're literally starting from day one, scratch, like you have not done anything, like just getting the membership and just walking on the treadmill for 30 minutes, like that's better than nothing. And it's like a slow process to get in there and get comfortable, but it doesn't have to be like this big jump into a changed lifestyle.
Yeah, I think for me, realizing that the change was not going to come overnight.
Yeah.
Like every single day after I work out, I like flex in the mirror. I'm like, okay, okay. I think I feel more muscular. Is it just like, you know, in my mind? Probably.
Yeah.
But I think also finding a friend that is interested with you and like can commit to going to the gym with you. It's always so nice to have a partner that like can hold you accountable, you know?
Yes, I agree. My roommate, me and her are like, we have the same goals, the same lifestyle, everything, same type of food. Like we literally do everything together. So it's nice to have that, but I know like it's not like that easy to find someone that's like exactly like you, likes exactly what you like to do. Like it can be hard, but if you like say classes, like if you were to go to your classes and you know someone's going to the same classes every single day at the same class that you're going to, reach out to them, say hi to them, like introduce yourself, because you never know, that could one start a really good friendship, or just like an accountability buddy. Like, okay, you're going to that class on Tuesday at like 7:30, like, okay, I'm gonna be there. Like it just holds you accountable and like will make you want to go there. And I used to do the same with going to the gym. Like when I didn't have my roommate Taylor, because we just met last year, but even before that, I had felt like I had like accountability buddies at the gym because we were always going at the same time, having like small conversations at the gym, and it will hold you accountable. Like you don't even realize it, but it will.
Yeah, it's definitely become like my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite part of the day, and I do think that. So I don't know if I've told you this yet, but I am starting to take training to teach Pilates.
Love
and
that.
Yeah, and the part of that is because what you said about you have to have hobbies or like different interests outside of your passions and like outside of your job.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about things that I enjoy, and one of them is taking these classes. And my only reservation about doing this is that if I change my passion into a job, which is like teaching that I won't enjoy the classes as much. That's my only kind of fear.
You know what? That's actually a good point. I don't know. I feel like with something like that, at least the gym, it's actually funny because I used to do personal training. So a year ago, I actually had to stop personal training because my like social media full-time job, like of like YouTube, podcasting, like it was so time consumed that I ended up hopping into that. But I would say once you fall in love with like really like getting people moving and inspiring people in that aspect, it's a lot of fun. So I don't know. I feel like you'll really like it.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'll be giving everyone updates. I think that by the beginning of the year is when I'll be around that time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to come to a class.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so I have some questions that I want to kind of like shift gears on. So one of those fitness trends that it's like literally everywhere. One of the ways that people can get into exercising, super easy, 12, 3, 30. 3, 12, 30, whatever.
12, 3, 30.
Yeah, whatever the order is of that. What are your thoughts on that?
I will be honest, this is one that I actually like do believe in. Like,
okay.
It depends on like what aspect of like, because a lot of people will think like, oh, like, is that going to be how I grow my booty? Is that going to be how I slim out my waist? Like, there's a lot of things that go into those types of things, but I think 12 through 30 is a great form of cardio. Like, amazing. Like, low intense cardio is so much better than high intense cardio because low intense cardio will help you preserve your muscle, whereas high intense cardio is going to maybe not, depending on all this goes with how much food you're consuming day to day. So if you're eating enough and you're doing high intense cardio, that's fine. But the low intense cardio, which is the 12 through 30, is amazing because you can conserve your muscle. You can still continue to build muscle. You're not burning too many calories, but you are getting cardio in. And I think 12 through 30 is amazing. I do it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. I think a lot of people have fallen into that like love for it because you do see results. I mean, it's like it takes a little bit of time, but it's pretty easy to do. You put on an audiobook or a podcast or music and you're kind of done and then you're good. Okay, so what are your thoughts on Pilates? There's like so many videos on my For You page that are like, it just takes one Pilates class. And everyone's saying this is how you get toned, like reformers classes specifically. What do you think?
I hate the word toned. I really hate it because I don't know what people really expect with that because for toning, everybody's bodies are different. And the one thing that is going to like require quote unquote like toning is like building muscle. Okay. And with something like Pilates, yes, you can build muscle, but that's going to hit a really quick plateau because when you, like you said, like when you take one class, like immediately, like you start to notice the changes, the differences, whatever. But that's because you're starting it, but then you're going to hit a massive plateau because your body is just going to get so used to it. And at least with lifting weights and weight training, like you're continuing to go up in weight. You're continuing to like really push yourself. You can change the reps and sets, like building muscle. Yeah. So Pilates, obviously you're moving your body. It's great, but you got to also expect what's the outcome you're looking for with it? Like, are you looking to build like a fat ass? Like, are you looking to like quote unquote tone your biceps, your arms? Like those things I feel like you'll see quicker results with if you're lifting weights. Okay. But I will say I have no problem with any form of exercise. Like if you're going to move your body, that's fucking great. Do it. I want you to do it. But just be careful with what your expectations are of it.
Yeah. From what I've heard, like actually a lot of the trainers that I talk to, they say that like they hit a plateau exactly because they're teaching every day or they're teaching, a couple classes a week and they have to do other exercises outside of that. So what are your thoughts on the combination between like cardio, weightlifting, and then like, I don't know, what are the other fucking kinds? Like high intensity type stuff.
Yeah. Like HIIT circuit, like circuit.
Yeah. Exercises. Like what do you think is a good kind of balance for someone? Because I used to be the kind of person, I would go to the gym every day in college and I would do whatever, a couple miles on the treadmill and then I'd do a couple miles on the bike. And then I would like, I don't even know. I would just bullshit whatever I was doing. I would just like look around at whatever was open and just do it. But I do the same thing every day. And then I was getting mad that I wasn't seeing a difference.
Yeah. Okay. So my take on this is that the most important thing you want to do is your biggest goal, if it's a physique goal, if it's a food goal, whatever it is to build muscle. That should be your like number one thing that you want to do because the more muscle mass you have on your body, the more calories your body will burn at rest.
Okay.
So if I'm sitting here and then there's a massive bodybuilder over there that has shit ton of muscle on their body and we're both sitting on the couch and we haven't moved all day, they're going to burn more calories just sitting on the couch than I will because they have way more muscle mass on their body.
Oh.
So they can eat way more food. They can stay leaner because they have more muscle on them and they're burning more calories at rest. So no matter your goals, if you want to lose weight, gain weight, whatever it is, it should be to build muscle. And with that, I would say if you are just starting out, trying with full body workouts at the gym, lifting weights, and then if your goal is still to lose weight but also build muscle, you're going to do cardio after you lift weights because I know I'm going to try to dumb this down as best as I can, but basically what your body is with food and working out and energy is when you are eating food, your body is going to be putting all of your carbohydrates as energy in your body, which is your glycogen stores. So your glycogen stores are your first primary energy source. Let me know if I'm losing you, by the way. Okay.
I feel like I'm in a science class right now. So I'm like mitochondria.
I know. So basically, to dumb it down, carbohydrates are your energy source. The more carbs you eat, the more energy you're going to have for your workout. Now, the second all of your carbs are exerted, gone, done, your body is then going to look for its second energy source in your body, and that is going to be your fat. So your fat stores in your body is going to be your next form of energy. So you're going to do all of your weight training using your carbohydrates, and then if you want to lose weight, you are going to want to do cardio after your weight trainings because your body is going to be then trying to find your second source of energy, and that's going to be the fat cells. And then with that, you're going to want to do a low intensity cardio. So the 12-3-30 is perfect, amazing. And I would say if you are looking to build muscle, you need to be at least weight training 3 to 4 times a week. You want to make sure you're hitting each muscle group twice a week. So with that, I would say do legs twice a week.
Okay.
And then maybe upper body twice a week. So you can do like a full lower body workout, a full upper body workout, and then just do it again twice, if that makes sense.
Okay. If you guys missed last week's episode, I let you guys in on a little secret that's not so much a secret. But anyways, you still have a few days left for Macy's early access Black Friday sale before the actual Black Friday comes and everyone's all frantic and things go out of stock and what you wanted is no longer available. So while you still have a few days, go check it out. It's on Macy's.com/FOW. And don't forget to tune in to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on November 24th on Peacock. It is from 9 a.m. to noon. I am manifesting that next year, the 97th annual Thanksgiving Day Parade, I will either be there or be in it. I don't know. I'm manifesting it, speaking it into existence. Go check it out on Macy's.com/Black Friday. And to find more information about the parade, it's Macy's.com/parade. Let's talk about weight training.
Yes.
Because you and your roommate Taylor are literally insane. Every time I watch your guys' videos, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could be that kind of person. And
you
totally
can. Yeah, you can be.
Yes. So what's your advice for girls that want to lift weights but are nervous to go to the gym? You're embarrassed or like you're just really in your head? Because that's me.
Mm-hmm. First of all, I would say get out of your head feeling that way because literally within the last year and a half, 2 years, the amount of girls that have started weight training is ridiculous. Like I went home, so I started weight training obviously at like my home gym, and I was like the only girl ever lifting any types of weights. And then I went home a few months ago, and the amount of girls that were at that gym, like the difference was insane. So nowadays, it's so much more normal for a girl to be in the weight section with the guys. Like, it's so normal. And if anything, they're probably staring at you if that's, like, something that intimidates you. Because that was one thing when I first started was, like, getting intimidated by, like, men, like, looking at me, feeling like I'm not meant to be here.
Yeah.
And if anything, they're probably just looking at you like, wow, like, props to her. She's here. The gym is, like, one of the most uplifting, exciting environments to be in. And I just feel like you should get yourself in there slowly, but it has to happen. Like, if you're sitting here listening to this right now and you're like, okay, I want to start, but like, where do I start? Like, just get up, put your shoes on, get your gym outfit on, and go on that treadmill at the gym, walk around, scan out the gym, see what the equipment is, see where everything is. And if you want to just follow like a quick workout, like from Instagram or something, do that. And then like get comfortable with it. You don't have to jump right into like a program or like knowing what you're doing by any means. Like just getting yourself equipped with it is super important. The first year and a half of me lifting weights, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I would say I wasted a year and a half of my life in the gym, and I could be a year and a half more advanced than I am. But honestly, if it wasn't for that whole entire year and a half of just like learning what I was doing, like I probably wouldn't even be where I am now and comfortable with it. I maybe probably would have just given up, you know? So it's just getting up, going and getting yourself to the gym, doing the basics. Like I said earlier, the machines where you can literally just sit into, and then like they have the little cable where you can like adjust the weight. Those are the easiest machines to use. I love those because you're not at risk of hurting yourself at all, because all those machines are predicted ranges of motion, which means like if you're hopping into the leg press, like you already know like the way your body's gonna move. Yeah, it's not gonna crush you. Like whereas if you were doing a back squat with a barbell, you have to know what you're kind of doing, you know what I mean? So like you have to know what you're doing, which you will get into that spot in your life where you're able to, you know, use the barbell, use the dumbbells, but just start off simple. Use the leg press machine, use the preacher curl bicep machine, like use them all. Play around, have fun with it. I remember when I first started at Planet Fitness, I was just walking down the line doing each machine, and that was my workout, and I would leave.
It's so funny you say that, because that's actually what I would do in college at our like big recreation center. I don't have an actual gym membership anymore. I used to have a gym at my last apartment, but now it's like just the classes. But that's exactly what I would do. And I always felt so totally fine to do it if there was no one at the gym at that point. So like if it takes you maybe going to the gym earlier in the morning when there's no one there, or actually like, I don't know. I don't really know when is like the busiest time of the gym.
Probably after work.
Okay.
Like 4 to 6 probably.
Yeah. If you can go when it's like not super busy. What I used to love doing was grabbing weights and going into like the aerobics room where there's a big mirror and I can just stand and watch myself. And then I would put on like a YouTube video, or I would look at people on Instagram. I've done Sam's legs and butt workouts before, and I'm not kidding you. I actually can't walk the next day. Yeah. But knowing that, like, also in my mind, whenever I go to the gym, I'm never looking at a guy and being like, he looks so stupid, he's doing it wrong.
I know.
I've never thought that about anyone. So why would I think that they're thinking that about me?
Exactly. If anything, they're probably just like over glancing past you and you think that they're looking at you, because like I'm at the gym, I have my headphones in, I'm just like zoned out. Like I'll look in one direction and I end up catching eyes with someone. I'm like, damn, they probably thought I was just staring at them, when in reality I was just like so zoned out and just staring into the space. So it's definitely an environment where you can very easily get in your head with like the comfortability of it. But like I said, just jump right into it and you'll get so comfortable like that. You'll feel like it's second nature.
So we were talking about how so much of your life, your content, social media is working out and exercising and all of that. How do you still have like fun, and specifically fun on weekdays, while not constricting yourself?
Of course. Yeah. I love talking about this because I feel like in the gym community, at least, like people get so fixated on like, I gotta eat chicken and rice, like can't go out, like gotta get to the gym, like gotta meal prep. And like I'm the complete opposite of that. Like I go out on the weekends, like I have a good time, but I do it in moderation. And like the one thing you just need to remember is like, first of all, stress is a very big thing on your body. Like if you are stressed out, you are going to retain so much water, you are going to feel puffy, you are going to feel low energy. So like if you treat your weekends properly and like allow yourself to let loose during the week, when you're trying to go to the gym, you're not going to feel puffy, you're not going to feel low energy. So like the weekends are really important to me. And what I try to do is I'll try to go out maybe only like once a weekend to kind of make sure I'm still able to like hit my goals, feel good for the week. And one thing I love doing is I bring Mio, like the little Mio juice packs, like little squirty things with me, and I'll just order like a tequila water at the bar, and I'll be squirting like the Mio into my drink, and like it's the easiest, like best drink you could possibly have. But in terms of like being out, you got to remember like you can't go overboard with the alcohol. I'm kind of a lightweight, like I'm not gonna lie, like 3 drinks will get me going for the night, which is fantastic. It helps me a lot. But like if you're overdoing it with the alcohol, it may play a huge role on, you know, the rest of the week. I try to get back to bed around like midnight. I Irish goodbye like no other when I'm out. It's so bad. My friends are like, "Where did you go?" I'm like, I gotta go to bed. Like I start my nights early. I'll end up going probably out around like 7:30, which is so early.
Gosh.
It's really early.
Yeah, people here sometimes don't even go out until like 11. You'll drive down Rainy Street, like, where is everyone?
My friends, if they do that, I'm like, I'm just letting you know right now, I'm not going out. Like I will hang out at the pregame, but the second you guys go to the bar at 11:30, like there's no point in me going because you guys are going to the bar at 11:30. I only want to be there for 30 minutes because like I don't want to be out until like 3 a.m. So
yeah,
I'll usually just leave after the pregame, and that's totally fine. But you need to let loose on the weekends.
Okay. So like during the week is your time to work. You do so much, by the way, with like how much shit that you and Taylor do. Yeah. Like you do your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and podcast. You guys do 2 episodes a week?
1 right now, and then going into the holidays, we're going to be doing 1 a day.
Yeah, 1 a day. Oh my God. And I remember last holiday too, I saw you guys at the grocery store, and don't you do like a video every day on YouTube as well?
Yes. Well, so that time last year we were doing 2 episodes a week, and it was a guest once a week and ourselves once a week. But yeah, we like our podcast Instagram, like we are making sure we have like a post up every day.
Yeah, it's insane. And do you do the graphics for your Instagram as well?
Yes.
Yeah, they always look so damn good.
Thanks.
I'm like, who does their Instagram? And then when you said you're a graphic designer, I'm like, oh,
yep,
Sam does it.
I
oh
do.
My gosh. So you are like, what's the word? Piled up with work during the week, and then you kind of let loose like on the weekends.
Yeah.
Then okay.
It's very important to do that. Like I said, like the stress, like you probably don't even notice. Like most people are like, oh, like I'm so bloated, like because of something I ate, or like I'm so bloated because of this. Like, no, what about the stress? Like the stress plays such a big role in like retention of water and bloating. Like if you have like everything in line with like work, weekends, friends, family, like whatever it is, and you're not super stressed out, you will notice like a very big difference in like the way you feel inside your body.
Okay. Yeah, I just started learning about like hormones and how that plays into
I'm not
like,
on
your
birth control
exercise
anymore, so I've been slowly learning more about that stuff.
Yeah, I haven't been on it for so long, and honestly, like I guess I just never really took the time to learn about it, I guess. But I will say like the whole thing about bloating and all that and stress is like your cortisol is high. Mm-hmm. So like in order to balance your hormones, you have to lower your cortisol, which is essentially your stress.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck to do that because it's so hard. Like I think I get stressed about so many things in my life, you know? Too. It's not just working out. It's like what I'm eating. It's like work. It's relationships. It's friendships. It's like everything in life is kind of stressful. Like how is it not, you know?
No, it is. Don't get me wrong. I get stressed like all the time, but like I'll notice like I will usually blame how my body feels on my stress. And then that's when I'll kind of like sit back, reflect and be like, okay, like what can I fix right now to kind of like de-stress myself because I have maybe way too many things on my plate. Maybe there's like a friendship or like something that's stressing me out with like a relationship with somebody. Like I just try to figure it out the best I can because it does take a big toll on you. Yeah,
that's a good way to think about it. Like blaming the way you're feeling on that versus what you ate or working out or not working out. That's a good way to think about it. So speaking of relationships, Sam is single.
I am very single.
And I want to know what it's like. Do you typically go for guys that are like always in the gym? Like what's your type?
Okay, so I've had some really bad issues. I used to think like I wanted like the gym bro, like takes care of himself, is always at the gym, like we can be like the fitness like couple like inspo that everyone has. Like no, like I've had like the worst time trying to find a man like that because they are so consumed by the gym, at least the ones that I've had the experience with. I know all gym bros are not the same, but like the guys that I've had the experience with, like literally, they're just so toxic in the sense that I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I think men are more toxic than females are in terms of like body image and like getting to the gym and everything. Like they take things so hardcore. And I feel like as someone who's come from a past of like restrictive eating and like body dysmorphia, like I can't be with someone that's like so A1 with like their routine because I'm so balanced with it that like I would feel so
kind of go back to that place.
Yeah, I would feel bad about myself. Like, oh, maybe. So I've had do you know where Elfland is? Like the gym in Houston?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's basically the LA version of like fitness. So like all the fitness influencers are out in Houston, like at Alpha Land. And like, I was talking to this one guy that lives there, and he would come here all the time. We would hang out and whatnot. And I invited him onto the lake on a boat, and I was like, hey, like, we're going on a boat this weekend. Like, do you want to come? And he was like, I got to film content. Like, are there going to be dumbbells on the boat? And I'm like, no, there's not going to be dumbbells on the boat. He was like, well, I can't come then because I got to work out, and like, I need to get a nice pump and like film my content. I was like, oh my goodness, like, thank God you like told me that and like gave me that massive red flag, because if I ever got stuck in a relationship like that, that someone was so invested into fitness like that and couldn't have fun on the weekends, I would lose my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet that'd probably be hard too. Do you ever feel like maybe it's also a sense of competitiveness?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. See, the good thing about me and my roommate is we're not competitive with that stuff, because maybe just because like we don't have like we're roommates. Like, it's not like...
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
like,
you guys seem like you have such a good, healthy friendship.
We like bounce off of each other really well in terms of like staying disciplined and motivated. But in the sense of like a relationship, I just feel like if I were to do something like, hey, like, I'm gonna go out and drink this weekend, and he's like, oh, well, I'm staying in, like, I don't drink. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna feel bad maybe that I'm going out. Like, is that bad? Like, should I also be on my game? Like, should I miss out on the alcohol so that way I can make sure to still hit my goals? Like,
yeah,
it's
and also kind of impress them and not have them think that, you know.
So I don't know, if I've just had a really hard time with like the gym bros. I just would love to find somebody that's kind of like-minded like myself, that Monday to Friday goes to the gym hard, meal preps, doesn't eat out. I don't eat out during the week. I try not to. I'll try to eat out on the weekends, and then I'll probably eat out like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Friday, Saturday. One, because it's so expensive to eat out all the time. But, yeah, and then the weekends roll around, and I'm like, I let loose. Like, I don't want someone to kind of make me feel bad for letting loose on the weekends.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I feel like that would be hard to find the balance. Yeah. You know, obviously find somebody that's equally as interested in fitness as you, but also has the balance that you've worked so hard for like years to find. Okay, so let's say you find a really cute boy in the gym. Anybody that has a gym crush, what is your yes and no, like, way to approach the person?
Okay, so I've been doing so many series on TikTok about this, like about girls approaching guys or guys approaching girls.
I love it though, because I feel like everybody has had a gym crush at some point.
100%.
But I feel like it's really intimidating to go up to someone.
Yeah. And one thing I've realized over the years, I've had better like chances of like, you know, pursuing something with a guy when I'm the one going up to them. Because guys, I think, are too intimidated to go up to a girl at the gym because, one, they don't want to come off as a perv. They don't want to, you know, interrupt your workout. They want to be polite. They don't want to be, like, rude about it. So I think where I've seen the most success is, like, the girls going up to the guys. And the best way in any time to, like, ever approach anyone at the gym is, like, between sets.
Okay.
Or if you notice that they are re-racking the weight from, like, the barbell or, like, the dumbbell or anything, and, like, you just be like, hey, like, act like you want to use the machine and be like, no, like, leave the weights, it's fine. And then they're like, they'll take out their headphone and they're like, what? Because they didn't hear you. And then,
I'm literally picturing it happening in my...
it's happened quite a bit. It's actually with the guy on the 20-somethings Netflix show. This is how it happened.
Okay.
Like, we were at the gym and we were using two machines next to each other, and he was going to re-rack weight, and I was also going to re-rack weight, and he wanted to use the machine I was using, and he was like, oh, are you using that still? And I, like, pulled out my earbud, and I was like, what? And then...
What did you say?
Yeah, no, literally, I was like, what did you say? And he was like, are you using that? And then because my ear pod was out, he took the opportunity to talk to me a little bit longer. We ended up getting in, like, a pretty long conversation, and then we exchanged phone numbers, and then the rest was history after that one. But, like...
Yeah, then you went on the show, and then they totally screwed you over.
And no, but literally, so that's what happens.
Okay, so that is how you should approach someone. And then what is one way that, like, you shouldn't approach someone at the gym?
Mid-set. I had the other day, someone come up to me. So you got to be careful, too. So, like, supersets. Do you know what that is? Like, when you superset two exercises?
I want to say I do, but...
So, supersets is, like, when you do two different exercises, but you're doing them, like, right one after the other. Like, there's no rest between each. So, like...
And do you go down in reps when you do it? Or no? I thinking something different?
That's a drop set.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, superset is, like, I'm doing, like, bicep curls, And then I'm going to immediately go into like lat raises.
Okay.
So I'm doing 2 exercises in 1 set. So I was like in between 2. So like, I think he thought I was done, but I was going into my superset of doing like the second exercise. And he comes up and he goes, hey. And I'm like, okay, I'm mid-workout. So I have to stop, drop the dumbbells, take out my AirPod. I'm like, hello? Like, what's up? He's like, sometimes too, because I do have like social media, like guys will also be really weird of their approach to me. They'll be like, hey, like, I would love to collab with you. I'm like, no, like, it's
no way.
Yes. And I'm like, can we talk about this later? Like, or like, do you want to email me? I'm like, do you want to email my like email like on my bio? Like, this guy, he wanted to like offer me like his coffee startup thing, like mid workout. I was like, this is not how you approach me like at the gym. Like, I'm at the gym not to do business. Like, I'm at the gym to just work out. So make sure that they're fully between sets, not like mid workout.
Oh my God, want to collab?
No, the amount of times I get that, it's so icky.
Really?
The fitness industry is so icky. I can't. It cringes me out.
Yeah.
It's so different than like the space that you're in. Like, one way to like really grow in like the fitness industry is like, quote unquote, collabing with people, working out together and like making videos together. It's like, I can't stand it.
Interesting. So you think like the industry as a whole is competitive then, and it's kind of like using each other?
But like not in a good way. Like, you use each other, I feel like, and you don't really get benefit out of it. It's just like someone's using you and they're probably never going to talk to you again. Like, I've had so many bad scenarios where like I meet up with people thinking they're going to become my friends, and like I really want to meet up with them because like I want friends. Like, I just moved to Austin, Texas. Like, I'll drive over to Houston, whatever, and I'm like really looking to make friends. And then I realized like they didn't really want anything out of that. They just wanted to like make content together. Yeah. And it's been really hard to find like in the fitness industry people that genuinely want to just like go to the gym with you, not
film a video while you're there.
Film something. Yeah, exactly. So that has been really hard. And that's one thing that I realized is I don't really like having friends that do social media like that, because it's hard to like hang out with them, and that like, I don't know. I've had so many bad experiences with it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, overall, I feel like social media friends are, you know, you might have expectations when you see someone online and then you meet them in person, and it might not be the same. And I feel like sometimes that can be really hard, especially after you hang out with somebody one time and like maybe you don't vibe. Like, how do how do you say that?
And then the people, like the audience, the listeners or the viewers or anything will think like, they're
best friends.
Yeah, there's best friends. They hung out once. They made a video together. And I'm like, it's not like that. It's like, say you're in class and you have like everyone in your class and you did like a project together in class. Do you think because you did a project together in class that all of a sudden these two people are best friends? No. So why in social media is it not like the same way? Because like in a sense, like that's what it is. Like, we did a video together, a project together. Yeah. Why are you guys just assuming we're best friends?
Yeah, totally. Huh. So you feel like it's kind of hard to make friends in the fitness industry 100%,
then? Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, you have me here, and I'm not part of the fitness industry.
I know.
So
Thank God.
So just some last minute questions I wanted to ask you, like yes or no, about things, like yes or no. Okay, booty bands.
No.
No?
No, I hate them.
Okay, no to booty bands. What about bands when you're like using them on your arms and you're doing like arm
like you can
things?
use them as like a warm up.
Okay.
But my thing with the booty bands is like in the fitness industry with creators, like kind of with the workout guides, is like they'll promote their booty bands as the reason that they built their booty, which is literally impossible. Like, you can, like, you're going to plateau with the booty band. So like using a booty band, like, you're not going to grow a fat dump truck from using it. Like, it's just not going to happen. And when you're hip thrusting and like you're putting maybe 300 pounds on the barbell and you're hip thrusting and you have a booty band there, it's not doing anything. Okay. Like, it's the weights that are doing the job. So I just feel like it's a really unnecessary accessory, and people are spending so much money on like all these accessories that they just don't need.
Okay. Along the same lines, what about like ankle weights?
Depends on who you use them. Like, if you're like, because I know like Pilates and yoga and stuff, you can use those. Like, that will definitely help you in fundamentals. But like, if you're in the gym, like, you might as well pick up like the 25-pound plate or dumbbell, you know?
Okay. This might not be the answer I want. I don't know. I'm not really sure what you're gonna say. What about Chloe Ting ab workouts?
Jenna, no.
Stop! Really, I love doing them. No. For real?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, okay, so what would you expect out of them?
Well, I like that my core feels like horrible after I do it. Not horrible, but like, like super like tight. I feel like I had a good core workout.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. But the thing you need to take away from like core exercises or ab exercises, like I don't have a six pack, but like I have like a toned stomach and I don't do abs. I cannot remember the last time I've done abs.
Okay.
And the one thing that anyone should ever take away from like an ab exercise or program or anything is like the most important piece is your nutrition. Like you can train your core all you want.
Okay.
But that doesn't determine if you quote unquote get like a toned stomach or six pack or whatever. Like you need to eat properly and lose the weight before you even consider doing the core workouts or the Chloe Ting. Like which
Gotcha.
I'm not too familiar on like what they are.
Oh, they're like 10-minute workouts. I feel it really popped off during quarantine.
Yeah.
I think just overall, like at-home workouts were the thing. But she has so many, and I've done those. I've done Alexis Wren's. Actually, I was in a core power class in New York, and my friend Lily was teaching the class, and Alexis Wren came in like super last minute, wanted to get in the class, but it was full. And she ended up going in the other class right next door. We all get out of class at the same time, and like, you can just see everyone's face kind of looking around like, is that Alexis Wren right now? Like, is that? And it sure enough was. And as she was leaving, I was like, girl, what are you doing at Core Power? Like, I do your ab workouts on YouTube. But, like, I don't know. It's about, like, 10 minutes long, and it's just nonstop core workouts. And, I mean, it's probably things that I could probably come up with on my own if I just think about, like, every core exercise that exists and just do it for 10 minutes. But I don't know. I know a lot of people do it, and I just wanted your thoughts.
Yeah. I would say scratch the ab exercises, take your 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, however long that is, and like take that time you have and put it into like your weight training session.
Okay.
Because when you are weight training, and if done properly, you're actually using your core when you're back squatting, when you're deadlifting, when you're benching, because it's a full body compound movement. So you're engaging your core. You need to brace your core. You need a tight core. So you're getting a workout in through your abs during your weight training session. So I just don't do abs like ever, like just because I don't need to, because I'm bracing my core, using my core during my lifts. But yeah, like obviously a strong core is really important, but I don't think anyone needs to be training abs more than once a week.
Okay. Good to know. I that's good information. Okay. And then the last one is, what is the best workout for your butt?
For your butt?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many out there. I watch your videos and I've done them.
And
I know it freaking works because I feel it.
Many. I would say hip thrusts.
Okay. That's when you're like on the bench and you, okay.
Yep. Barbell hip thrusts, I would say, are definitely the best. And then depends on like, I would say back squat too, but like back squat's like overall your lower body. Like I would say hip thrust number 1, back squat number 2, and then RDLs would be like number 3.
Okay. Good to know. Everybody here take notes.
Yeah.
Well, that is about the end of it. For anybody that wants to follow Sam, plug yourself. You got so many platforms. Oh my gosh.
I know. I changed my Instagram this year. It used to be _Taylor_fitness. It's no longer that because, like I said, I want to do more than just fitness.
There you
go.
So
it's Sam Taylor, but there's 2 S's at the beginning. So it's ssam.t, so 2 T's, Taylor. If that makes any sense. Because they don't have, I know.
To Taylor.
They didn't have my name. Like, someone has it. I was like, damn, like, that stinks. So that's mine. And then you can find my podcast, the F Word Podcast, which is Fitness Uncensored. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, you name it. You can also find it on Instagram. And then from there, if you want to just go to that Instagram, you can find me in the bio.
Love it. Well, we'll put it in the episode description as well. Like I said, Sam has been a resource for me to learn about weightlifting because, I mean, it's different also to have a girl to look up to about, like, weight training versus just going to the gym with Connor. You know, sometimes I feel like what he's doing isn't necessarily like what I should do for my body.
100%.
So yeah, highly encourage you to go follow Sam and check out her, stuff, all of her things, listen to her podcast. And at the end of every episode, I ask my guest, what is your fun on weekday idea for people? And it can be, or it doesn't have to be fitness related.
Oh my goodness. I have been so addicted to the Monopoly Deal card game.
Oh, okay.
Me and my friends do a card. I know this is so, you
probably
weren't expecting that. My fun on weekdays is playing card games with my friends either Wednesday or Thursday night.
I love that. Okay. Is it a board game?
No, it's a card game. Like, it's literally Monopoly, like the Monopoly board game as cards.
Okay.
It's so much fun. I definitely recommend getting it and playing it with your friends because it's addicting.
Okay, cool. That's also maybe a good like holiday gift too.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and everything will be linked in the description, and I'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.